In 3, 2, 1, going live.
Everybody, okay, this is exciting. Episode number 2. I'm Mel Craig.
I'm Don Ramsey.
And this is HB Unplugged. And wow, we got a special guest today, Don. I'm so excited. You know, big event. This has happened now for 5 years. I want to introduce to you guys Mr. Ed Romo.
Thank you. Was somebody booing in there?
Yeah, really. Yeah, I heard that one.
Yeah, that was my brother and family.
Yeah. All right, so you know, Ed, you know, there's a lot. I mean, more than we can cover in this episode. But we were just talking a little earlier how we can't believe 5 years has already gone by since your first bike ride.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, can you imagine? That's 5 years ago that COVID started.
Yeah.
You know, because that's when it started, and everything started during COVID. So it was kind of like, wow, it's been 5 years. You know, it seems like we're still in that area and kind of getting out of it, but still, yeah, 5 years.
And I remember Ed telling me, "Hey, Mel, I'm thinking of having this bike ride." And I go, "Well, Ed, you know, everything's shut down. I'm not sure, you know, rebels by the cause, you know, like, oh, forget it." So I said, all right. So we put it on social media, and I think we thought maybe 25, 30 bikes would show up.
Yeah, just a couple.
Yeah, just a couple bikes would show up, and, you know, 2,000 bikes. Oops.
Yeah, it grew. I mean, it was crazy. I think the first year the Cup said it had about 1,000 bikes, and then that was going to be one and done. I don't do this stuff. I'm not a Don Ramsey, you know, where I can put on,
Okay, yeah.
where I can put on, you know, 10, 15 events and still wake up like I'm ready to go.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know, I do one event and I get pretty tired for a few months.
Yeah, it's every year, first thing in the morning, everyone's walking around going, "Where's Ed? Where's Ed?" You know, especially me when the cops showed up the first year, like, "Hey, what's going on here, Mr. Craig?" Wait a minute. I'm not the only culprit here.
Yeah, and that was pretty crazy. But it went from 1,000 to 6,000 to 10,000 to 15,000.
Yeah, and we're expecting almost 20,000 this year.
I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, but you know, we have that community. It's Huntington Beach. You know, we're an outdoor community. Nobody stays inside. You know, I mean, you know, look at us. We're like older guys, and you know, we don't sit at home when we get home.
Heck no.
Well, I don't think this guy ever sits down.
Well, especially for the 4th of July. So,
Exactly.
You know, everybody knows we have a big event here. It's always said it's the biggest parade west Mississippi. But in my mind and what I've seen and where I've been, this is the best place for it. And it happens here. I mean, we have a great parade, but that whole event of 4th of July, how we do it here.
Yeah, the whole weekend. The whole weekend.
It's unreal. So,
Everything happening on Pure Plaza, not just the parade. So many people don't see the night before, the day after. You know, the Pure Plaza with all the speakers coming in, and you know.
Well, this year, let me just tell you. So we have the bike parade happening this Saturday, but then on July 4th we have they have the 8 and 10K run down there off of 17th Street, going down Main Street, and all that happens.
And that's all ages.
Yeah, and that's all ages. And then we have the 4th of July parade, of course. And then there's live music happening down at the Pure Plaza, down in the, we have the big stage going on. And then the fireworks happen. So all that happens on just July 4th. And then July 5th, we have the block party. So that's going to happen on a Friday. This year, and I'm on the executive board for the 4th of July.
You're on every board.
Well, I'm on a lot of them. The reason for that, the new production company that we hired, PSQ, who's a local company here from Huntington Beach, we've decided to hold back Saturday and Sunday so that we can save enough money. So next year, when we do the 3-day event, which is going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's going to be off the chart. The company that did, or the production company that we hired for the last couple of years, Sound Skills, we actually felt that they were taking away the hometown effect that the whole event should have. And then,
like making it commercial?
Yeah, kind of. And, you know, they're the ones that put the fair down there in the beer garden. And
Right.
Which isn't part of what the 4th of July has
Exactly.
ever been here. So we're getting back to what the
roots.
hometown feel of it. And then next year, look out, because it's going to be spectacular. And that's all I can say publicly. But believe me, it's going to be nuts. And so will the bike parade. So
Yeah, actually, next year. So, Ed, I mean, fill us in on details here, because we're now going to try for the Guinness Book of World Records, which, by the way, you know, how many Guinness Book of World Records is Huntington Beach going to hold? Like more people on a surfboard, the biggest paddle out. I mean, it's just amazing. So this is another addition to the Guinness Book. They'll have a chapter about Huntington Beach in the Guinness Book of World Records.
We're going to be the city with the most world records pretty soon.
Yeah.
No, actually, I think somebody had checked into that. I don't know if you checked. Some city had like, I think 7 world records or something for different things.
Yeah.
But ours are all a little different too, in a way. I mean, the 2 surfing, and then we have the bike one. But yeah, with the bicycles, I had kind of, just one night, I think somebody asked, is that the most in the world? It's the biggest thing we've ever seen. So I was checking in there, and the record for the most bicycles, 1,700.
Oh, 1,700?
1,700. I'm like, how could that not have been beat by now? Now, there are places that have had way more bike. France has, they had 40-something thousand bikes, but those are the races they have, Tour de France kind of things.
Oh, those.
Yeah. So they have the most, but they don't make it official. Like, they haven't done it with Guinness. If we do it, we would have to do it a little different. We'd have to, almost like they did with the paddle out, is we'd have to make our own world record, because the record is for bicycles, which if we just got only bicycles, we could beat it. We pretty much have already beaten it, but just to make it official. But to the world record, a bicycle is considered a 2-wheel vehicle manned by a man with no motor.
Oh, so no electric bike either.
No electric bikes, and if you attach a little thing with your kid on the back, that's not a bicycle. You have unicycles, 3-wheelers, all that. So all that would be eliminated. So, I was thinking, well, what could we do? And I'm thinking it'd be like an all wheels if we made our own, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Because
so you got to come up with something. So there's got to be a workaround.
Exactly.
Ed, we got to do a workaround.
Yeah.
We got to do a workaround.
So we'll do that.
We'll put Don in charge of doing the workaround.
Well, okay. So let me just interject. When we got Guinness to come here to Huntington Beach, when we did the Surfing Circle of Honor,
Right.
I was co-chaired that with Diana Deem.
You chair everything.
Yeah, and I tell you, to get them here and what it took to count all the guys and to really make it official,
I watched
was
them on the beach,
way
yeah.
more than I expected it to be. This guy was like so exact. I mean, he counted everyone. He had like 8 volunteers with him who all counted it. Then he checked every one of them, and then when there was 1 or 2 off, he went back and counted it again. So that's why we were out in the water for 3 hours.
Oh, yeah. It was out there forever before we got.
Oh, yeah.
I think we actually drifted a little past
We
the pier.
drifted, yeah, because the swell
pretty
was
swell.
giant, and a south swell usually takes you from south to north, but once you get that far out, it went from north to south.
Yeah.
Because the swell was pumping. In fact, a Baumgartner who was head of marine safety, he was scratching his head whether he was going to allow us to make it happen. But because we had paid all that money to get Guinness out here, that was the deciding factor. He decided, look, we need to make it happen. They've already come this way. We've already spent all that money. And then he said the green light and allowed us to do that event.
Well, yeah, it was crazy paddle out. I know a lot of people got their butts kicked trying to get
Oh,
outside.
yeah, a lot of people didn't make it out.
Yeah,
There
they
was
didn't.
over 600 people, and only 511 made
it out.
Yeah,
Yeah, so a lot of people couldn't get out there. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I was trying to tell people maybe you should go up on the pier and jump off. Well,
marine safety.
Look at Don's all,
we're the rebels. Yeah.
don't even say that.
All right, Ed. So your bike ride. Let's talk a little bit about that. I mean, it's getting exciting. So so many people. And one of the nice things about what we're doing with this show is we're going to put this live tonight on social media, so everyone can see the video. And so let's really pump it up. I mean. There's quite a few things happening, so why don't you just kind of we're not just showing up and going on a bike ride anymore,
Yeah. Well, we've been pretty lucky now that we have the
veterans and all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and with the street now, last year we just outgrew the neighborhood, cruising through the neighborhood. So now we're going to be coming down Main Street, the same path as the parade. The whole street will be blocked off. All the cars will be removed so that we can go down nicely.
It's blocked off from Yorktown and City Hall all the way to Walnut.
Yeah, no cross streets.
Yeah, no cross streets. And they got
JLC has
blockades.
put
Yeah.
all the
So nobody
water
would be
barriers.
parking. There's not even parking on the street.
Can't park on the street. It goes all the way to PCH.
Right. Perfect.
So it'll be all cleared out, which will be nice because then at the end of it, everybody could hang out downtown, have some lunch, relax. I'm going to have a couple bands down there and a couple places where they can relax, listen to some music. there's a lot of new places. I mean, Bruno's is one
Oh
of
yeah,
them.
yeah.
That's down there that, Coaches has a new deli.
Yeah.
That people can go and check it out, and they didn't know. I mean, we know we're downtown all the time, but everybody else, it brings everybody down so they can just check it out, and it's a nice casual day. So we have that going on. The veterans will be getting a medal. They get a medal every year, so they have the nice medal.
Don and I,
And
we're
then,
Don, we're going to get medals.
Yeah. Finally.
I know, really.
Yeah, so we'll have the medals will be there. I have handmade leis being made by Tina Toulouse to give to all the veterans.
Tina
And
has participated from the beginning, right?
from the beginning,
She's been amazing.
making these things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's we love her.
she's
She's also the female side of the unofficial mayor type.
yeah, she's in a lot of stuff. So it was pretty good. She always comes to me. She goes, "I'm ready. I'm ready." She's
What do you wanna do?
excited
Yeah.
every year. And then so we have that going on with them. They get the free lunch at Bruno's. So Bruno's will be up there, and they'll
The veterans,
The
not
veterans.
all the bike
Veterans,
riders,
not all the bike
not all the
riders.
bike riders. The veterans get the free lunch.
veterans,
Yeah. Everybody
Yeah.
be piling up at Bruno's like, "Hey, I'm in line to get my lunch."
Exactly. And then the medals, I have the medals for, we have the veterans, some that'll be in the front, some in the cars, some supplying music. So we have stuff like that. And then we have some extra medals. So we'll be handing some out, probably have you, Mel. It depends on how busy I am that morning. But yeah, we'll just find some veterans in the crowd, and we'll just randomly start giving some medals to some of them. And then, just saying thank you. I mean,
Absolutely, yeah.
like Don, I mean, this guy, I mean, well, I could thank him forever for everything.
Yeah.
This guy, but yeah, I think it'll just be something nice, that they just show up to go for a little bike ride with the family, and then they go home with a medal, which will be nice. So,
The veterans, yeah.
But that's the biggest thing. The focus is always, for the bike ride, my focus has always been the veterans, and I'm not a veteran. I have my brother's a veteran, and we never really talked about it too much. But growing up, you admire anybody in the service, so it's nice. So we'll have the veterans being put on a pedestal there for a little bit, and then
Aren't they leading the pack in a truck?
they will be leading the pack. They'll be in a few of the cars. Actually, are going to be different veterans. So I have a leading truck. He's a veteran. Then we're going to have the stake bed truck by HP Propane, and they're going to have some veterans in there. And then behind that is one of our locals, a couple of our locals, Mickey Rat and Chuck Lennon. And so they'll be in the next car back, and there's a couple veterans. And then after that, we're going to have our shuttle little golf cart, and that's what shuttles the veterans from the front or from the end of the parade to the front. And so those guys are going to be, whoever can't make it on the truck will be on that. And there's a few people that can't ride that are that'll be sitting in there too. Sometimes the veterans come with their wife or something.
Oh yeah, good.
And they're like, I want to be on the truck, and we'll leave the wife, back in there. Perfect. Then we also have, then after that, we'll have 3 Volkswagen buses. There'll be a red one, a white one, and a blue one. And then after that, we're going to have roller skaters.
Whenever Don Ramsey is involved, there's going to be some buses. Trust me, there's going to be buses there.
Yeah. Well, California, it's
Yeah,
just
it's all
buses.
about. Yeah, it
So
is.
when
Surf City.
Yeah,
bro.
Surf
Come
City,
on.
man. That's what it's all about. Yeah.
And it's probably actually, with Ramsey and his events, that is probably what, motivated me to get buses, because it kind of reminds you like, oh yeah, I remember how the buses were. And, if you don't see them for a while, you're like, oh, you kind of forget about it. But with Don's events that go on every year, it keeps it in your mind. It keeps it alive.
Well, even a lot of the events that Huntington Beach puts on that have nothing to do with the cars, the buses, we have buses there.
Oh, yeah.
You seem to get like at least 10 to 15 buses in little tiny events.
Every single event that happens, literally. In
Just
fact,
about,
I was
yeah.
just at event approval hearing for the chili cook-off in Sunset Beach, and for the first time, we're going to put buses on the Greenbelt, which has never happened before. So they're allowing, the city's pretty much adopted the whole vibe, so which is
Yeah.
good.
Well, it is.
Needs to.
It's all part of our surfing life. It's the lifestyle. It's the surfer's culture.
Yeah.
Growing up, that bus was like everything.
Oh, yeah.
It was. It's what got us to the beach, for God's sakes. Sometimes we had to push start them. Roll them downhill, but they got us there. Camping out at Seaside and waiting for the sun to come up and paddle out. So, what time's the bike ride start?
So we'll be leaving approximately between 10:30 and 10:45.
We tell people, if you want to get involved and have some fun and, hobnob with the crowd, get there at like 9.
Yeah, get there early, and that way you can walk around. You see your neighbors, you see everybody dressed up, and we have a couple people be handing out some waters if you need waters. We might have one of our locals. It's called 1 Ounce Coffee. Might be out there handing out some little 1 ounce little cups of
Shooters,
coffee.
yeah.
Little samples and stuff like that. And then, like I said, just walking around and seeing everything. The buses and some of the cars that we have are pretty nice and stuff. So you can check those out. But the biggest thing is when everybody gets there and they see their neighbors, and they see their neighbors.
I didn't know you come. I didn't know you came. All right, this is cool. Yeah, you start running into people that
you run into people you haven't seen
in a long time. Yeah,
What's cool?
Haven't seen you in 10 years. My God,
exactly.
I was living on 14th Street. That actually happened. One of the things we were living on 14th Street, and that was like 14 years ago. He goes, "Mel, I haven't seen you since then." I was like, "Well, when I moved out." One of the things Ed's talking about to everyone out there in podcast land, Ed's talking about dressing up. Well, what he means by that is, everyone puts on their 4th of July red, white, and blue colors. Yep. You put the red, white, and blue things on your bike, your flags or whatever. So it's really just kind of a patriotic dress up type thing.
Yeah, and it really is. People love it because it's.
Oh, yeah. Some of the bikes are insane.
Oh, yeah, there's some good ones.
Double giant, like 10-foot flags, and they're pedaling it. Like, how the hell are you going to pedal that bike?
Well, we get everything. Unicycles. I invite basically all Huntington Beach clubs, forums. I put it for everybody in Huntington Beach, and then also surf clubs, Southern California. I try to hit some of the clubs and stuff like that, and then stand up paddle boarding. Pretty much any kind of wheel.
Yeah.
Anything that has wheels on it, come on down. And I invited a couple running clubs. They run. I go, you know what? You don't have to ride. You don't have to. If you guys want to come in and participate, come on down. Come on down, get dressed up, go for a little run. It's only 1.5 miles. I don't know if I can make that, but still, it's a little little mile.
I can't make it a half, and I'm talking about half a step. My hip will go up. One of the things I do want to talk about is for all of you that can't participate in the ride, podcast land all over Huntington Beach, get down to Main Street. Line both sides of Main Street because it's breathtaking to watch this massive wall of bicycles coming at you, and it's like you're sitting there videotaping, and it never ends. It's just all these bikes. You're talking almost 20,000 bicycles going by. So get down to Main Street, find your best seat. Try to get curbside. Get your cameras ready and stuff like that because there's a lot happening when the bikes come down. So just get that. What'd you say? Like about 11, right?
Yeah, probably around there. So by the time we leave, 10:30, 10:45, and it takes. It'll take around 20, 25 minutes to get down there at the speed that we'll be going.
Yeah.
So right about that time, that's when it starts. You'll see everybody coming down, and then and you can see neighbors. You'll see everybody there. Yeah. Little tiny kids, little girls and boys with their training wheels still on their bikes coming.
And some
by.
of them that have no pedals, they just push. The kids are pushing them.
Yep.
Yeah. You got grandma, grandpa. You got all walks of life, every race, it's unreal how much fun it is.
So last year, what I really liked, and it was huge last year, but going the route that we took, and then people on their front lawns having barbecues and parties, watching the event, getting ready to watch the event. I thought that was good.
Yeah, because as long as and that's why I say when you get if you live on Main Street, you're already getting ready for 4th of July. Get your chairs out and start packing them because the bikes are coming.
Yes.
So if you live on Main Street, invite all your friends and family over on
everybody I know, and I know a lot of people that they're all going to be in. And this includes a lot of the officials for the city of Huntington. Community services, they're all going to be in the parade.
Yeah, I got to give Bob a call because the church, we can get everybody out there in front of the church. It'd be so much fun to have all the crowds on both sides of the street, clapping and cheering us on. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Plus this year we're going to have a QR code on the banners so that if you want to help support the parade, the city parade, because we're all locals, so it's kind of like, we're all scratching each other's backs. We go downtown and we eat, some of these restaurants will be giving us little discounts and specials and stuff so that, it's like saying, hey, thank you for coming into my restaurant. Thank you for coming into my establishment. Here, have something. And so it's the same thing with the QR code. Having it on the banner is like, the city saying, hey, come and watch my parade. And us saying, hey, you know what? Let me help out a little bit. Yeah. If you want to help and say, God, like have that feeling in your heart that you helped a little bit. You helped the big parade when it's going by. Say, you know what? I
participated.
donated a little tiny bit.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's part of a big pot of all the to help everything. I mean, look at the parade. I mean, oh my gosh, the stuff that you get to see. That's the biggest event, one of the biggest of the year. So
Huntington Beach,
it's going to be.
I got to tell you, Ed's very shy about this kind of stuff. In fact, after the show here, Don and I are giving Ed a small check, couple $100. But it's because there's so much work that goes into Ed's event, and he can use all the help he can get. And I know you don't ask for a lot of this, Ed, and really, a lot of people don't realize how much time and energy and effort you're putting into this. So on behalf of Don and I and the Podcasting Guy Show, we wanted, and Karen and I for our detailing business, we want to support you and your endeavor. And I reach out to everyone, when you see Ed, give him some cash or whatever. Next year, we're going to be asking for a lot of sponsors. We're going to be, because what is it, about 15 grand or something like that to get Guinness?
It's actually $25,000
Yeah,
this year.
I was just going to say, Don will probably know more
It
about
is.
that.
Yeah, so it's 25 grand.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll be reaching out next year big time because we're going to need the help, and finance it.
Okay, so he talked about the QR code. So code 4, the air show guy, Kevin Elliott, they're putting the banners on the truck. I actually am taking it over there myself tomorrow, and they're going to put the banners on each side and a banner on the back. And all the banners are going to have a giant QR code, and we're asking the public and everybody at the bike parade, go ahead and scan in on that QR code and help pay for this event, because believe me, it doesn't happen for free. And we want this thing to continue on and to be part of the 4th of July celebration in Huntington Beach.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It is. It's a staple in the city now. I mean, it's here forever.
Huge.
It's not going anywhere. Yeah,
That's why for us locals to be here and be, on the bike cruise, and if they want to help out and do something, we're basically just, helping our city bring something to us. So
you start thinking of events that are sizable. Don knows more about this than any of us. These sizable events, how much revenue it brings to the city of Huntington Beach, and this is just a shout out to everyone out there that HB is the place to be. I mean, it's whether you live here or you don't live here, it's events like this weekend. You want to be here. You want to show up, man. You'll really feel the HB vibe when you get down here.
And the weather's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, that's where we're going. Well, we're going to bring this show to an end. Ed, thank you so much, man. We're so proud of you and all the stuff you've done this past year and 5 years now. Like you know what you've built and I think those gray hairs.
They're coming in.
They're coming in big time. Yeah.
And thank you for being the MC.
Well,
Got our MC the bike, bike ride right here. So
who's the busiest? You can always tell the busiest and most intense guy at this table. It's Don because he's got the most gray hair.
I put the PA that you're going to be talking in.
All right, there we go. We're going to rock and roll. Well, I'm Mel Craig.
I'm Don Ramsey.
And thanks again for joining us for another episode of HB Unplugged. We're out.